page as well.
Your
Thank you.
resolution, but I want their resolution, if that's.
Oh, yes,
yours.
absolutely. Thank you.
Well said.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the public? Yes, Mr. Poe is next.
Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I'll say for what it's worth that I agree more with Mrs. Casagrande than with the first speaker, with all due respect. Also express my appreciation to the council president for the clarity on volunteers. You're hearing me okay, or?
Yes.
Okay.
A little reverb, Mr. Poe, but not bad.
Okay. Yeah, that's about where we are with all this. Just for information, particularly for Councilman Olson, I think I can speak on behalf of the Historical Society to say that anytime you need the building for inspection, we'd be more than happy to make that available. We've done that many times in the past without any problem. Just make a call to 2884, speak to Diane, and we will make arrangements to make sure that it happens. So whether that is monthly, bi-monthly, whatever you all feel the need to do with the joint insurance fund, we will be happy to do so. Also for the newsletter, we are going to try to ask everybody to have that for Friday the 11th, after Labor Day, and then we will try to get it out on the 18th. That is obviously pending all sorts of other availability, but if the city would like to participate in something that costs them no money to get information out to the public, we would be more than happy to facilitate that for governmental purposes. We are also going to be attempting to have a meeting on the 17th at the Risley School in accordance with where we seem to be on reopening. We have to see from the members how that's going to work out, if we'll have a quorum, but want to give people that opportunity if they are desirous of that. One quick, I guess the interviews that have been happened so far for clerk/deputy clerk have just been the personnel committee. That's why there hasn't been anything else advertised. Is that correct, Matt? Thank you. Okay. One quick perhaps clarification. I'm not swearing to this, but it is a fact that the Transportation Trust Fund is funded with the gas tax. That may be why the gas tax may be going up, because demand has gone down. The bonding for the state was authorized to go as high as $9 million. So far, it's more like $9 billion. That makes a big difference. But what's been authorized, what's been actually done so far is only about $4 billion. I don't believe any of that is for the TTF, but that's where the gas tax would come in. Just for clarity, I did not hear whether anything was restored with the Green Acres pilot. There was some talk of helping municipalities, but I don't know if Green Acres pilot was actually included in that or not. Just again, FYI. But going to the planning board meeting, which I believe is scheduled, presumably is scheduled for 3 weeks from tonight. You need to take a strong look at the pending application and how some of that is being handled, because if there is an arbitrary and capricious denial that could wind up being potentially rather expensive for everybody and not achieve the goals as far as good government in general. I think that was it. Yes, thank you.
Yes, Mr. James Cassis.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So my name is James Cassis. I'm a resident of Egg Harbor Township, and I'm also a member of the Atlantic County
New Jersey Sanctuary Movement. And I know that the mayor had previously stated in an email that he was concerned about the red flag law as part of the statement in our resolution. And so I want to address some of his concerns and why we feel this ERPO is what the state of New Jersey calls it, is unconstitutional. Many states already have red flags laws, but they base their evidence on probable cause. New Jersey's red flag law is flawed because it allows police to act on good cause instead of probable cause that the state and federal constitution standard for arrests, stops, search and seizures of the United States. Back last November, District Court Brian R. Matrinati indicated that he saw serious deficiency in the measures, and when he stated, can we agree on its face that this law is unconstitutional? We currently have instruments available to address mental disorder and domestic violence. We have temporary restraining orders for domestic violence. These ordinances forbid the defendant from possessing any firearms or certain other weapons unless he or she is a law enforcement officer or in the military and he and she can possess firearms while on duty. They ordered the police to search for and take any weapons and firearms permit at the location the judge has reasonable cause to believe the weapon is located. Any acts are covered under this, including homicide, assault, terroristic threats, kidnapping, criminal restraint, false imprisonment, sexual assault, criminal sexual acts, lewdness, criminal mischief, burglary, criminal trespass, harassment, cyber harassment, stalking, criminal coercion, robbery, contempt of a domestic violence order which constitutes a crime of disorderly person's offense, and any other crimes involving risk of death or serious injuries. As far as mental health, New Jersey statute section 34-27.6 address state or local law enforcement officers shall take custody of a person and take that person immediately and directly to a screening service if a danger to himself or others, and is based on the personal observation of the law enforcement officer has reasonable cause to believe that the person is in need of involuntary commitment to treatment. So these are just two laws and statutes that we have now that already cover the incidents where you may use a red flag law. So having a red flag law, the danger is that you are not basing it on our constitutional rights. You're basing it on less evidence than the constitutional rights, which in fact what it does, it actually encourages what we consider as swatting or doxing. I don't know if anybody is familiar with what happened in Toms River last year, where a patient was having problems with a plastic surgeon who he had felt had done harm to him, and because he had left a message on his doctor's phone number, messaging saying, "I know where you live." His attorney searched his Facebook page and found that he had a firearm owner. So he immediately applied for a red flag law. His weapons were confiscated. There was never any documentation of him making any threats to use a firearm or to cause physical harm. When he said, "I know where you live," he could be protesting there. There was never any threat of violence. After over a year, he had just gotten his weapons back, and there was found to be no evidence that he was actually any harm. So during that year period, not only did he have to pay an attorney, he also had lost his rights for self-defense, which left him defenseless if anything would come up. And it put a financial burden on the person accused of something without any recourse against the attorney and the doctor for basically filing false charges. So this is why we have a problem with the red flag law. So under our current statutes, you already are not allowed to have a firearm if you commit the domestic violence. And
if I may, hold on a second. getting very close to the 5-minute mark here. We should do
All right.
5 minutes.
Well,
Wrap it up like shortly, very shortly.
yeah. All right. So, with our mental health issues, we can actually have the person involuntary committed. So, what happened in Illinois, in Park Ridge, Illinois, a man's weapons were taken away because of mental disorder. He took away his firearms. 3 days later, he stabbed his mother to death with a knife. If this man was dangerous enough to take away his firearm, he was dangerous enough to commit. So by removing the firearms, they never removed the danger because the person was the danger and not the firearm.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the public that has not spoken already?
Motion to close?
I don't see any hands raised, and I don't see any chat.
The motion to close. Bill made a
Second.
motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Second.
A second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a meeting after the meeting, Mayor?
You and I?
And the CFO and the consultant?
Probably.
Come on, you want me to come over or not?
Yes, I wanted to discuss a couple things, yes. I had that
Okay.
conversation.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
night.
everybody.
Good night.